Hey everyone. This week we are finishing up with a long walk to water. And so, as you are going through this week's assignments, this is what we call an end of novel project or way for us to culminate the story itself. So, what you need to do is first make sure that you open up the two Google Slides as well as making sure that you follow along with me so that you know where to look for later on. These slides are so important to use for the whole week. I cannot tell you enough to use your resources wisely. So you'll need this one open. This is A Long Walk to Water, May 11th through May 15th. And then you'll also want to check this one out for this template that will help guide you through what you need to put in each slide. All right, I'm going to go through this one first. This gives you your suggested schedule, which if you look, for Monday, you want to read or listen to the author's note that's actually at the end of the story, and you will find out some really good information about Salva and why this story was written, and the meaning of the ending of the story, where if you read and you have finished everything, spoiler alert, you'll find out that Salva is the one who later on helps to build and drill those wells for water, as well as the schools to help people back in his home country in Sudan. And so Naya, even though she's a fictional character technically, she finds out that it's Salva. You also want to watch this TED Talk of Salva talking about his life and his organization, Water for Sudan. So that's it for today, or for Monday at least. And then for the rest of the week, you want to start on this presentation, and I'm going to go through that a little bit and help you to begin as well as continue on with the assignments for the week so that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're working on that. All right, this is the overall question. Even when we left before we left for remote learning, we were starting the third unit in StudySync, and it was about human rights. So why is it essential to defend human rights? And what are human rights? So let's review. Human rights are your fundamental rights as a human being. Human rights are rights inherent to all human beings, regardless of race, sex, nationality, ethnicity, language, religion, or any other status. Human rights include the right to life and liberty, freedom from slavery and torture, freedom of your own opinion and your own expression, and the right to work and education, plus a lot more. In this case, especially with Salva, he should have had the right to be safe and free from the torture and violence that was going on in his home country. He should have had the basic human right of clean water and food provided to him. And those rights were not being met. So here is your assignment prompt. This is the prompt that you want to keep coming back to make sure that you answer all parts of this. The lack of water is a human rights issue in South Sudan. Create a presentation showing why this cause matters so much. Explain the impact of the work Water for South Sudan is doing, and explain how they are making things better, especially things better for South Sudan. Finally, call your audience into action to make a difference in South Sudan. Now, I'm going to give you a little suggestion. Obviously, there's been a lot of infomercials and commercials and a lot of benefit concerts and shows for people that need help with the COVID-19 stuff that's going on right now in the world. And so this last part where it says, call your audience into action to make a difference, well, you can relate it to today. So many times they'll say things like, stay home so that we could protect people. Or, if you give $10, you're going to help make sure that nurses will get, different protective masks for their faces. Well, in this case, you want to focus in on why it's so important to want to help people in South Sudan, who in this case still are having difficulty finding clean water, let alone finding any water. So you want to think about that in terms of that last part, how you can persuade and want to motivate people to want to help. So here's the assignment breakdown. Step 1. View and browse the Water for South Sudan website. And just to show you what that looks like, I'll even open it up for you. When you first go on, it's actually going to show you the backstory of Salva, and you'll see another video here. It gives his story. It'll tell you about his life as well as the story. And then after that, you can check out even more with this I Kept Walking video, where this is really Salva telling all of his story. There's also a part that says our work. So it goes about the water wells, hygiene, sanitation, as well as the impact and the map of wells. So as you click on some of these, it tells you about the drilling and what they have been doing to provide water for people in South Sudan. It even provides pictures. Hint, hint, if you want, you can possibly use some of these pictures in your Google Slides. They show you how they fix and work on some of these wells to make them work better. They also talk about hygiene and why it's so important for them to take better care of them, especially the kids. So teaching them kind of like how you learn in health how to take care of yourself. Well, they have a lot of that here. It also talks about sanitation, and sanitation is all about not just trash and things, but keeping the water clean, keeping it taken care of. And then it does talk about the impact and how it's helping people. If you look over here, as of April 1st, they had 452 new wells drilled. They helped fix and rehab 162 wells, and they've given 424 hygiene trainings to people living in South Sudan. There's some different stories of real people here as well, which is really neat because you get to learn about these people, the people that we're reading about in real life. And then they do have a map in South Sudan of all the different places where they have been working to help them. So that's first. You need to go onto this website. It does talk about other ways to help, and as well as some different blogs and things like that. But you definitely want to check out About Us with their mission, about Salah's story, and then you want to talk about, you want to look up our work to be able to identify some things to help you. Step 2, you need to view the template for the Google Slides presentation, which I'm going to show you in a moment. And then you'll view the slide for each slide for tips to help you to go through this. So let me show you what I mean by that. Each of you will be given a template to be able to create your slides. The first one obviously is going to be this one, your title slide. But then for the second slide, you need to talk about their mission. So what is this organization's main mission? We give you the website. Again, that's the same one I showed you. And you need to talk about the main mission and then use your own knowledge from the story, A Walk to Water, and talk about why is this mission important and why does the cause matter. So use the information from the website here, so you can keep this here for now until you're done, and then you can put your own information in. And then for the second part, you want to use your knowledge from the story itself. How does this help those people living in South Sudan? For slide 3, you want to talk about the impact, and I showed you guys that before, but if you're not sure, here's the website for that. And then you want to talk about how is this organization making a lasting difference for the better. So we talked about hygiene, sanitation, as well as the maps of the wells. So when we talk about impact, we're saying, what has this organization done to help the people of South Sudan? All right, so you want to focus on what are they doing? How are they helping? How is this changing people's lives there? And the last slide, how to help. You now need to write a statement urging the public to help Water for South Sudan with their mission. Now, remember what I told you. You can use any of these parts of the site to add to how they can help, but you want to add your own words. Do not just say, give money. That's not what we're asking here. We want you to explain why it's so important to help them. And whether that's donating by providing money so that the money can go towards hygiene training or new wells, or if you have a fundraiser in a school to raise money to go towards that, whether it's you're buying books that, sorry, my website's been acting weird. Whatever the case may be, but you want to make sure that you look through these. So let me give you an example. If I were to go to Ways to Give, and I put, start fundraising, for instance, just to give you an example. If I open this up, it then shows me about the campaign. And you can even use some of the words here. It says, we are watering the seeds of change with your help. Support us as we provide sustainable clean water sources, sanitation resources, and hygiene education to some of South Sudan's most remote villages. So in this case, it's saying I can choose a goal. So maybe I would want to fundraise through my school. I want to help get clean sources, and my goal would be $500. And here's why you should help. Whatever the case may be, you want to make sure that you explain why it's so important and how people can help and what steps they can do. All right. Remember though, we are providing this all through those templates and through this slide. So you need to make sure that you are taking your time with this and paying attention to the directions. Step 5 then says, view slide 8 for tips to help you write your call to action, and end your presentation with a call to action, encouraging people to stand up in a specific way for this human rights issue. And don't forget to submit your presentation when it's done. But guys, I highly recommend you ask either Mrs. Maglong or I to actually check before you submit. So whether it's you comment on the assignment itself, or email us or message us on GoGuardian and just let us know that you want us to check it before you submit it. All right, so let's go to step 5 and 6. Remember what I said, this is some important parts to include with your call to action. So here are some tips for researching and synthesizing your findings. Synthesize means to combine things in order to make something new. When synthesizing information from the website provided, make sure you are creating something new by following these tips. First off, you need to understand the context. We do not want you to just copy and paste the text from the website. Instead, try to restate the idea in your own words. Guys, if you're not sure, reach out to us. You can use a thesaurus for synonyms. You can try to put it into your own words as best you can. Now, if you are going to take any words from them, you need to use quotation marks to state important facts directly. So you need to use the quotations and make sure that you cite your source that you got it from. And last but not least, you need to look for the main idea. Make sure that you capture the main idea that the question is asking. Do not get caught up on small details. So if we are asking you to tell about the impact on what Water for Sudan has had on South Sudan, I don't want you to just say it helps. It helps people. Well, how does it help them? Does it help them by providing clean water? Does it provide them with water that is close to their home so they don't have to walk too far? These are the types of things that we want you to focus on when you are doing this. All right, and on slide 8, how to write a successful call to action. A call to action is the part of your message that tells your audience what to do. It also makes them feel inspired to do it. So you need to use strong verbs. So instead of just saying help, maybe say donate your time or provide assistance. Things like that would make it a stronger verb. Use words that provoke emotion or enthusiasm. And give your audience a reason why they should jump into the action. So again, like I said, if you're going to use any of these examples, whether it's even this one, like a legacy gift, if you feel really passionate and you want to recognize people who are who need the help and you want to help them, then you could call that a legacy gift. I wouldn't recommend this one. This one's a little bit tougher, but if you do the donate now one, which it actually tells you what you give them when you donate, you could say, by providing money towards this foundation that ALWTW has created, you can help give them hygiene supplies. Or if you provide $100 or more, you might be able to give a family a water well that's close by to them so that they can use it for many, many years. You can describe this as best you can, but we don't want you to just copy and paste this. That's not the point of this. You then want to include something like, by donating to them, you're able to help save their lives. You're able to provide them with water that will keep them alive, and so they don't have to go far to find it. All right. So I hope that this helps today. Again, you have the templates here. You're each going to be able to have your own copy. So please make sure that you are using this wisely and that you are following along. Like I said, once you finish a section, then you can delete these parts. Or if you want to, if it were me personally, I would just put a new slide in like this, and then I would use this information to put into here. And then I delete this slide as I go through it. But that is totally up to you, your choice, how you want to go about doing this presentation. We will definitely help you out this week, but it is so important that you use this video first and keep using this video throughout the week, as well as this slide to help you. Good luck, everyone, and have a great week.